On a day where a multitude of European soccer fans had that pit in their stomach watching their teams knowing they need wins to arrive at the World Cup, none more than Italian soccer fans.
Yeah, not too many situations when you find this many Europeans this stressed out, and I don't know if there's a nation more stressed out than the Italians. This is a massive day for them.
But at least for the next few days, they'll be able to breathe easy because Italy get a 2-0 win over Northern Ireland in the World Cup Qualifying Semifinal for Europe, and they move on, obviously, to the final. And this Italian side, they're looking to avoid what would be history, 3 straight World Cups without arriving if they're not able to get here, and they got it done. It's a bit nervy after the first 45 minutes, but they do get 2 goals, obviously from Sandro Tonali and from Moise Kean, important goals for them. And now they move on to that qualifying final. Like we mentioned, it would be disastrous yet again for Italy to not make the World Cup, and they took that one step to now get to that final. And to break it all down for us, we had to go straight to Bergamo because our guy Francesco Porzio was at the match in Bergamo, in Atalanta Stadium, and he joins us now. Francesco, it's an exhale for now after that result. What were your thoughts on the match just after the final whistle?
Yeah, I think that for sure we could all feel the pressure. We could all feel the tension. I had the feeling that I was watching the same game Italy played in 2017 against Sweden and then 2022 against North Macedonia. I think you could really feel the tension of the players, of the manager as well, Gattuso. And that's why the first half was really, really difficult and challenging for the players, for the whole environment. And I think that after the first goal, things got a bit better. But as you said, it's the first step. So let's not be too excited, even if here we can hear some excitement around. But it's a first step. I think Tuesday will be another game, another story away. So it will be challenging. And you can see that this team is feeling the pressure of the whole nation.
Francesco, talk to me a little bit about Sandro Tonali's form for both club and country. He has been fantastic recently, a beautiful strike to open the scoring for Italy today. How important is he to this Italy team?
He's absolutely crucial. I think that we were all scared when he got injured last week because you could see his impact, not just for the goal, but for the right mentality, the right experience that you need in these kind of matches. And Tonali is the perfect example of what we need right now, what we need especially on Tuesday. These kind of players with this kind of character are crucial for Italy right now. I know it shouldn't be a big deal to see Italy playing the World Cup, but as you said before, there are 10 years old around the country that never experienced a World Cup, and that's something that, I mean, we need to get over that. And the fact that my nephew, for example, never watched Italy play in the World Cup is really, really frustrating, not just for me, but for thousands of people, millions of people around the country. So he's the kind of player that can bring to us to the level that we need to be at the World Cup.
Francesco, we asked you last week about what are the 3 players that need to show. I hear some fans back there still celebrating the victory. I love that. But yeah, we talked to you about just what players need to step up and need to be important for Italy to make this World Cup. You had mentioned Moise Kean, Donnarumma, and Barella. Moise Kean gets a goal today. Important for him as well. What were your thoughts on his performance and how important those 3 players need to be moving forward into the qualifying final?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Moise Kean, I was expecting this kind of performance from him. The second goal was absolutely great, a stunning goal, but it wasn't an easy game for the strikers, not just for him, but also for Retegui. Also, let's consider that Retegui is not playing a lot due to the Middle East situation. So he's in a situation that he doesn't have a lot of game time. So I was a bit also surprised to see him playing for the first minute. I'm expecting a lot also from other players, such as Pio Esposito in the game on Tuesday. But then mentioning on the players that you said, Gigio Donnarumma, I mean, he wasn't the game that we needed the best version of Gigio Donnarumma, but I think he brought the kind of calm, the kind of experience he has despite his young age. And the same for Barella, the same for Kean. They were all nervous. You could see that. We were all nervous, and that's something that we don't need on Tuesday, because that kind of nervousness, I think that can be a big issue on Tuesday against, let's see if it's going to be Wales or Bosnia.
Now, Francesco, let's talk about Gennaro Gattuso. he's a player he's a man that has been there at the highest levels for Italy. He understands the pressure of the shirt. Talk to me about the decision to play in Bergamo and then how Gattuso is handling this pressure that is surrounding this Italy team.
Yeah, I think this is a great point because Italy and the federation decided to play this game, which is the only game that will be played in Italy of the playoffs, in Bergamo and not in Milan, not in Rome, not a big stadium with a big crowd. Because let's say that if this game was played in San Siro, I could see a lot of whistles at the end of the first half. So I think this was the right choice and well made by the federation and the manager. And then the manager, I really like the whole atmosphere around the manager. The national team manager, 2006 World Cup winner, Marcello Lippi, issued a statement yesterday supporting the manager. Then other players, other teammates of Gattuso, Daniele De Rossi, Giorgio Chiellini, Gianluigi Buffon, who is in the staff, of course, and also Leonardo Bonucci, who is in the staff. They are all around and all supporting the manager. And that's very important because, to be honest, the other managers that managed Italy in the last years and they failed, like Giampiero Ventura, the same Roberto Mancini in 2022, but then Luciano Spalletti, they felt a bit lonely. They didn't feel the right support from not just from the outside, but also from the inside. And that's why this is really important. That's why playing the game here in Bergamo was the right choice.
We actually, it's interesting because Gattuso did say after the game, we just heard he was thanking the fans for the support, especially at halftime when they went in 0-0. So that was clearly important for him to come out and talk about the fans and the support in Bergamo after he chose that spot. We also had Moise Kean say that he felt the weight on his shoulders, the weight of the country on his shoulders, just kind of to add some perspective on what this means for the country. And Francesco, the last thing to ask you, I think the most important one, do you see this happening? Do you see Italy finally getting back to the World Cup?
No, listen, I don't want to talk about it. Since I do this job, I never cover Italy playing at the World Cup because they never made it to the World Cup. So let's say that I cross my fingers, we all cross our fingers, and let's hope on June 12th to speak here about Italy playing against Canada. But let's not go beyond that. Let's wait for Tuesday, and then we will have time to cover that.
It's a perfect understanding of what the anxiety that Italian fans are feeling right now.
Like how professional Francesco is.
Exactly.
The fact that he's like, no, this is too close to my heart. I can't do this. Yeah. I respect it so much.
Credit to you, Francesco, for staying strong and continuing to believe. I love to see it. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Sportline, my man.
Thank you.